text can be combined in Affinity Designer. So how to do this? Right, first thing to do, go over and create some text. Now I'm just going to create artistic text. It could be frame text as well. And I'm just going to go with the word text. My apologies for the screen moving around there. It does seem to want to do that. However, hold down the Alt or Option key and then just duplicate that design. So now you've got there two text. You can see in the layers panel there, you can find that in the view menu, studio and layers. And select both those. Then go to a layer and create compound. So create compound and straight away see what happens. You lose the fill, you lose the stroke. They're still there. You can see the text there. You can select individually. However, to actually set the color, simply select the compound. Then just go up here and say, let's go for blue and set the stroke maybe to black. And you can set that stroke width like that. And once you've done that, you can select the individual text. So select that. You can do that via the layers panel and you can just use the move tool. Simply move it around, reposition it. And as you do that, you can see it just blends nicely together. You can also rotate it. You can also scale it. So just quickly scale it like that. And you can see the text will still combine and you can see it joining nicely together. And it's still live. So you decide, you know what? I don't want the word text. I've changed my mind. I'm just going to go for the word type. And you can just change it. So you can just type or any other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can still continue to move it around. You can see over here, you've got these two. Now we've also got that empty one that I created earlier. You can just delete that. So with that, you can apply effects as well. So maybe decide, you know what, with that selected, and the key thing is to select the compound, not the individual text or type, just the compound here. And you can go here to effects, just down the bottom here, click there, and maybe go for, say, 3D. So go for 3D there, and you can see now the effect is created there. Also maybe outer shadow. Just quickly create all kinds of different effects like that. And that's applied to both of the shapes. If you want to select again the individual one, you can still continue to move it around, reposition it. But what you can also do is you notice here, you just got this little plus just here, just a very small one. You can click there and you can see now add. You can also go for subtract. And as soon as you do that, you can see what happens. It subtracts that type, the word type, from the word text. So you can create all kinds of combinations using that. And you can move it around. You can continue to do that, reposition it, heart's content. Also, you can go here and click intersect. Now, obviously, once you intersect, very, very little left of the rest of the words. So you can move it backwards and forwards and you can see. Now, what you can also do is you can go for XOR and then obviously you get the gaps between that, the combination of the two. Now I'm just going to go for add. Just going to go for that one, the add one there. And you can just continue to move it around. However, once you've got that selected, what you can do, you can hold down the Alt or Option key and you can duplicate that design. So you can just duplicate that and that will be combined as well. That inherits that plus. If it was negative or subtract, then it would have that. And you can do it again. Hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate that and repeat that and build up a very complex design with all those different words. And again, they're still live. So you decide, you know what? I don't want the word type there. I want Bob, whatever. You can put whatever and still continue to move it around as long as you're selecting it. So you can reposition it. You don't actually have to have it on top of it. Doesn't matter. But again, you can still rotate it, resize it, move it around, reposition it, and so on. It's all still live. And as you do that, you can see it blends together nicely. You don't have to have them all the same. You can maybe that one, you can go for subtract. So you have like the word Bob just moving around there. So you can see Bob just cut away. And of course, you've got that 3D effect still live. It's all still live. Now, what you can do, go up here to the compound and you can obviously make that all nicely one entry. And you can resize that. So you can then reposition that, resize it, rotate it, all those things still live. You can still go and edit it. But also you can hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate that. So just drag there. And that is again creates another compound. Now they're separate. So you can, if you decide, you know what, the word Bob there. I don't want Bob, I want Fred. So I can just put something else. So Fred. Don't have to, they're not linked. So you can just change it over and over again, tweak all these things. Now you've got two compounds. Well, what you can do, you can select both those compounds and you can go over here and layer and create compound. So you can create compound of that one. Now the one that's at the top, you can see there, you've got that little plus there again. And again, you can do exactly the same as before. You can now go click there and maybe go for subtract. So that one subtracts. And you can still continue to move that around and cuts that away. Also, maybe go for this one, XOR, to create that sort of design. And you can see you can build up all kinds of really nice designs. Now I'm just going to now go back, just create some very simple text. Again, let's just go for the word type again. And you can see with that, what you can do, you've got that, hold down the Alt or Option key, duplicate that, so you've got two, select that one and that one. And then go to layer and create compound. Well, this time what you can do, again, obviously set the color so you can see it. Obviously it just, weirdly, it just defaults it to obviously no fill, no stroke, which is slightly unusual. But you can see once you've done that, you can select that one and then maybe go for subtract. And you can see you can create a nice sort of effect like that. And it's still live. So you can decide, you know what, let's just move that around. Maybe position it slightly like that. Or maybe go here and you can go to intersect or XOR to create interesting type effects like that. And again, you can still, of course, still live, you can still rotate it, move it around, all those kind of combinations. And of course, you can also combine it with other things as well. It obviously doesn't have to be just type. So you might say, you know what, let's just go for a circle. You could use any other shape, doesn't have to be. Create a circle in there. And again, that circle gets that plus, inherits that. And again, select that and you've got subtract. So you can then use a circle in there and still continue to move that around, reposition that. Or maybe go for, let's just go for the other one, intersect. So you end up with just that intersection of the word type, in which you can still continue to move around and maybe focus particularly a particular set of letters. And again, all still live. So you can decide, you know what, I don't want the word type, I can change that, etc. You can also use frame text as well. So just quickly create some, I'm just going to go with the word type again. Very original, I know. However, now what you can do, just go over here and instead of artistic text, now I've been using artistic text all along, what you can do, frame text. So frame text tool, and I'm just going to create some, just something like, let's just come up here, text, and insert filler text. So just put something in there. Makes it quite quick and easy doing that. And you can see now I've got both. Well, what you can do, exactly the same as before, select both of those. So frame text as well as the artistic, though weirdly it doesn't say artistic type, would be nice. But you can go in up here, layer and create compound. And you can see straight away what happens. Create this compound, and again, you can recolor things. So let's just quickly recolor so you can actually see it. And you've got the word type there. Maybe I'll go with black so you can see it a bit more clearly, or purple at least. So with that, what you can do, go to the frame text, and you've got that plus. You've got that thing there again, and you can go for subtract. And again, select subtract. And you can then move that around, just go there, rotate it, scale it, all the same standard things. Now, of course, it's inserted filler text. Now, if you wanted to change the text, you obviously have to type something. So if you want, just quickly go to the artistic text tool and then just obviously select that type and just add something very quickly. So any sort of level of text, of course, as always, it always puts it down like that. Don't know why it does that. Moves it there. But you can just type something and you can see as you do that, it's still live. So you can select all that text, maybe just change the size. So maybe go for 36. You see, you can see it like that. And again, continue to type. Unfortunately, like I said, the mouse and the actual screen, it always flies off the edge sometimes. However, you've got that like that, and you can move that around, reposition it Now, of course, what you can also do is you can hold down the Alt or Option key and you can just duplicate that. So that type is then duplicated, and again it inherits that. You've got the minus there, so that's minus applied to there. You don't have to. You can go up here and say add, or maybe go to XOR, or that one. You could just go through them, just try out different ones with the frame text as well as the other one. And you can see it actually becomes a bit of a mishmash there, but it does do it properly. Does actually combine them. And again, you can rotate the design. You can create all kinds of weird and wonderful text effects using this approach, using the frame as well as artistic text. And of course, you can always change things, modify things, just retype. So select that, put something else in instead. Obviously, I'm just putting X, Y, Z, all those things just to do it quickly. But you could put normal text as well, of course, in that. Right click and duplicate. I don't know why there isn't one in the layer menu. Makes no sense. Many applications have in the layer menu a duplicate feature. Unfortunately here you have to right click or hold down the Alt or Option key. So now you've got two compounds and you can then reposition that, and you can see as you do that you can move that. They're all still live. You can still change the word type. You go down here, change word type. Doesn't have to be type. Maybe go artistic. Go for text instead. It's still live. And again, of course, the screen always shifts. Has a tendency to do that. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Thank you much.